Alright, hi, it's Glenn Hansen and Jordan Moffitt here from Vector Health and Performance. Today we're just going to go through some little lessons on deadlifting, considering that most people love to do that in the gym, and it's probably my favourite thing to do. If you have to give me one exercise I could do for the rest of my life, that'd be it, just because of the focus on posterior chain and the muscles that it works being so many in the human body. Just want to go through those some safety things when we're deadlifting. So this is a model of a spine. So your hip joints connected here. So they're a big ball and socket joint. So they're a really strong joint because of the structure of the joint. So very stable. Spine is strong as one, but there's a lot of individual joints that happen all the way through here. The best position for the spine is in the neutral spine position, not when the spine is flexed or extended on top of each other, because when that happens you're creating extra pressure on the edges of the vertebrae. So deadlifting, we know, creates micro fissuring or fracturing of the spinal column, which is then repaired over roughly a 5 to 8 day process. So if you're deadlifting heavy multiple times a week, it's very important to have consideration on the amount of volume you're doing, and if you're doing that when you start lifting and you don't have good stability, because all of the muscles in the spine realistically are there to support, to hold the neutral structure in place. If you go and deadlift heavier than you should in that initial stage, then what happens is this is impacted, and you generally don't feel that impact for much later on because you're looking at a degenerative process that you start. So why I'm really big on just taking your time when you first start weightlifting is because of that, like build up capacity first. So we're just going to go through a couple of things that I look for that you can look for as well, because you can use a mirror, you can use your phone to videotape because it's true and accurate in terms of someone else's opinion versus a phone. You've got an accurate representation of what you're doing. So what we're going to do first is just make sure that, say, someone like Jordan is going to start deadlifting. Can he hold a neutral spine in what we call a hip hinge posture, which is exactly what it sounds like. Can you hinge predominantly through your hip joint and hold your spine in a neutral curve? So this is what a non-neutral curve would look like when you're deadlifting. So if you tie a broomstick to your back, and you've got your back of your head, you've got the mid part between your shoulder blades, and you've got the top of your bum holding on, and if you do this, that's not a good thing, because all that stress and pressure, if you were to lift like this and pull up like this, all that pressure is directed straight through the point right here, and that's the point that most people get sore in over time. So it's not what we want. We want you to be able to do this for the rest of your life, all the way to the 70s and 80s if you so desire. So what we're looking for is to make sure, I'll get Jordan to demonstrate here, that when we're looking at neutral spine, especially if you've got your mates and you're helping your mates out in the gym, which I think is fantastic, is that you've got connection here, here, here. So 3 points of contact, try and maintain those 3 points of contact all the way through. So we have our knees a little bit soft, so they're not hard locked back into extension, and you can see there that there's no change in spine angle as he goes through that point. So he's going to go down now, and he's going to get to there. Now deadlift starts from the ground, so if Jordan bends his knees a touch and just sits into that position, that's where we want to pull the bar from, right there, for him. It changes for everyone because of leverage, but essentially that's the position we want to hold the whole way through. If you're getting this popping, where you pop through your lower back and you're rounding as you're standing up, then you're just not strong enough here to hold the bar in position, or you don't know how to do that. Right. So it's all about a skill as well as strength. So strength is the ability to produce force, and the skill set is the ability to hold yourself in the position that we want you to hold it in. So neutral spine is really important in deadlifting. If you're helping mates do that, use that broomstick exercise to show them what to do and show them how it's meant to feel. If they can't manufacture that, if they can't do it, then they've got to do that until they can do it well. Easy equation: if you've been weightlifting for 2 years or 3 years in the gym since you were 14, you're 17, you've got a 17-year-old friend that comes with you, they shouldn't really lift what you lift in the first week or 2 or 3 or even a month of what you should be doing. because you should be more skilled, you should be stronger, you should have better capacity. You know what you're doing. They might not know what they're doing. So my tip to you is let them be patient and be patient with them. Don't try and encourage them to do 1RMs after a month of training, because in general what's going to happen, their technique falls apart, they put that extra stress on, and then it's not really beneficial for their long-term future of their spine. So there's some tips in terms of like what we look for when we're looking at deadlifting and looking at competency versus just pure strength. Alright, any questions, feel free to message our page or get in touch with us. Thanks.